Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, last year I did a lot of shopping my craft room, which meant I wasn't doing a lot of craft shopping, but instead I was looking around my craft space and being sure to craft with what I have. That being said, I have to say at the end of 2022, I really felt as if I did a wonderful job shopping my craft space and really emptying it out. So I did do a little craft shopping. As I approach the new year and now that my craft space is a little bit more simplified, I am trying my best to only shop for upcoming projects instead of shopping on impulse. So I'm going to share some little craft hauls that I have today. I went to 3 places: Hobby Lobby, Joann, and Tuesday Morning, and I just wanted to share a few of the things that I picked up. Plus, it'll be a little sneak peek of some of the crafts that I'm going to be inspiring you with this spring. So first up is Hobby Lobby. I was really excited to find this cute little egg tray. I don't know what they call this. It's just in the tabletop decor area, and I loved this. I have a really fun idea for this it's going to be coming up in my Easter videos, so be sure to subscribe if you are just joining for a fun craft haul, because I have a very fun Easter idea for this cute little wooden egg tray. Very, very fun. I also love that it's nice and whitewash, and then it has some really nice little distressed looks on it. Another thing that I found at Hobby Lobby was this really cute little pink bunny. Now this did come in a variety of colors. I can't remember exactly what other color options there were, but I did pick up the pink one. I will say that I think I am going to apply another layer of a pink chalk paint to this, just to have it be a little bit more vibrant and just kind of to give it a little bit more of a pink look. But I'm excited to go ahead and do a little crafting with this with some upcoming spring and Easter crafts. But I thought this was really cute. I loved the wood paired with the metal. And this was, well, it's just Easter 2023, but it was just in their Easter aisle or aisles. It seemed like they had quite a few, which was really fun. I love springtime because I love all the pastels. I also came across this really pretty wood decor, and this is a little wooden bead decoration. I love it. I was drawn to the colors first and foremost, but I also love that we have a little area that we can decorate with the Cricut. I thought this was really pretty. This would be beautiful on a tiered tray. And again, I'm going to be using this in an upcoming video to do a little fun decor with. So I thought this was super, super fun. I'm always going into their little stamping and paper area for additional inks, and I did find a distress oxide in a color that I don't have and that has been on my wish list. So I picked this up and picked raspberry, and as you can see, it was a really great price. So I'm so excited because I have been slowly and patiently growing my distress oxide collection, and so I was really excited to not only find a color that I didn't have, but to find such a deal on it. I also love these. This was probably my favorite find that I found at Hobby Lobby. I found the little sequins, but these are a little bit more of a spring mix. I'm not quite sure it doesn't really have a name to it. Looks like they are a Hobby Lobby brand, but I love the colors. They're so fun. We have more of a coral type of pink, and then we have a pale pink, but then we also have some fun green in there in the leaves. I thought this was going to be so fun for shaker cards, and I really want to play around with just bringing a really fun card to life with this. So I only needed one, but I did pick up 2 because I've never seen something like this, and they had 2 on the shelf, and I grabbed it real quick because I was just so inspired. The last thing that I picked up was this really nice burlap tote. Let me see if it has a little tag. I am really, really inspired with this. In fact, I want to craft with this today because after I am done with this little haul, I want to get a couple little crafts done. But this was in their wearable art section. I love their little totes. I love decorating with them. They are so, so fun and nice. And I have a fun idea for this that I want to bring to life and get crafted today. So I really think this is cute. I love that you have a little area here that you can decorate, but it's just a really fun little piece, and the size is perfect. Okay, so again, being mindful when I'm out and about shopping to only pick up things that I know I'm going to be using in the near future instead of impulse buying. It just makes everything a little bit more breathable in my craft space, and it keeps it exciting too. So when I was at Joann's, this was my tiny little haul from Joann, I found this really cute little color family of distress ink, and I really wanted these colors. I do not have any distress ink yet, so I am really excited. Actually, I don't think I do. I think I only have distress oxides. I don't think I have any distress inks yet. So anyway, I found this little color family, Spun Sugar. I have this in distress oxide and I love it. And I have been really wanting to add saltwater taffy to my collection because it's more of a kind of coral pink, which I just love. And then we have Festive Berries and Kitsched Flamingo, which is so fun. So I picked this up. I don't remember, and this could be me just not being observant enough, but I don't remember seeing the distress inks in color families like this. So I was really excited to see a little bit more pinks. I think they had some purples in a little pack as well. And then I can't remember the other color, but again, shopping for what I know I'm going to be using right away. And so I picked up this little color family because I know I'm usually very inspired with the pinks and a little bit more corals. And then I found this embossing folder. This is by Park Lane, and the same with this second one. With spring coming up, I really wanted to do something with a little bit more florals. And so I picked up this embossing folder. Isn't this beautiful? I love this. I really want to try doing an embossed look on colored cardstock and then rubbing some white ink over it to kind of bring out those white edges. I think that would be so pretty. And then I've really wanted an oversized dot embossing folder. So I was really excited to see this at Joann as well. And so I picked this up. So again, tiny little haul from Joann, but I am really excited with the few things that I did find. And I know that these will be on my craft table really, really quickly. Okay, lastly, I did tiptoe into Tuesday morning. Honestly, it was only the second time that I've ever been there, and I was really, really impressed. They did have a nice little craft section, and they are going out of business, at least in my area. They're closing their store. So I wanted to go in before they close because I've been hearing that they have a lot of craft supplies there, and I was really pleasantly surprised. In fact, I was a little bummed because I was impressed with their little craft aisle, and I was thinking, why didn't I know about this all along? I definitely would have shopped here. So anyway, I found just a few little things. Now, these are from American Craft, and they are little pocket frames. I found one that says Gather, which is so neat. So it comes with all that you need, though it does not have the frame. And so I picked these up thinking this is such a great little price. You can just really quickly make a little piece of decor very, very simply and quickly. And then I got home and I did not realize that the frames are not included. So I tried to look online. It's kind of becoming very tricky to even locate them. So I don't know if they are just not making things like this anymore, but I'm trying to find the little frames because it looks to be that if you just have the frame, then you can just insert these little pieces of decor. And as you can see, the little top of the frame comes off and you just slide your little decor in. So they're more interchangeable in what I am thinking. So I was a little bummed, but at the same time, it says all over these boxes, frame is not included. So that was my problem and my fault. But I am going to try and just shop around and see if I can find another type of frame that this would work with because I love this idea. I think it's so pretty and I love that this could be a really fun little gift for someone. So again, I got one that's Gather. This is an 8x10 and then these two are in the size of 6x6. I love this little high. I thought that was so cute with the little floral embellishment. And then I love this. This looks kind of like one of those letter boards, but this one says, "Oh, happy days." And I thought that was really cute as well. So I was really wanting to open one of these and do one of these today, but no frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more shopping and see if I can find something that will work with this, and then you'll see this on my channel soon. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of crafting today, and I am immediately inspired with these two items. Now, I'm inspired with everything that I purchase, but some of those items I really want to save for a more of an Easter video, and that's where you'll see a lot of those other items come back, and you will see how I am going to be inspired with them and hopefully inspire you. So I am going to play around with these little sequins. I really want to do something fun with these, but I also am going to do a really fun little look on this burlap bag. I am really needing a little tote for church. So I am going to do something fun for this, and that's going to serve a good purpose because Mama needs a little bag to put little things in for when we are headed to church. Okay, so I am going to set this to the side and we will come back to this in a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and get inspired with these. Spring is here, at least it is in my area, and I am just all the pastels. Well, I'm a pastel girl 365 days of the year, but now I feel like I can just unapologetically be all about the pastels because it's just that beautiful time of year. So let's go ahead and start crafting with these. Okay, so in all of my recent haul videos, I've been really good about getting some of the things that I purchased on my craft table right away. So that is the purpose of this part of the video. I don't want to buy all these things and then put them in a drawer and forget about them. I want to craft with them right away. And again, that is just part of me trying to simplify my crafting. And sometimes I feel like we just really add to cart really quickly. And then unfortunately, either time gets away from us or we kind of run in another direction with our crafting. And then those things that we initially fell in love with end up sitting in our craft space. So I'm trying my best not to do that. And part of me being a little bit better with that is getting things crafting or getting things on my craft table right away. Okay, so I want to do a little shaker card. I am super inspired with this sequin mix. I know we're only going to need one, so I'll put the other to the side. And first and foremost, what I think I want to do is well, let me trim this panel down, but I want to do a little arched opening where my little sequins will be. And then I was thinking about doing a little Easter card, and let me just double check though that I don't want to go one bigger. And I kind of want to go pretty small on this though. Nope, I'm going to go small just for kind of the design idea that I want to run with. So let me trim this down really quickly and then we will cut this little arch out. Okay, so as always, everything that you see me use in this video, if I can find it, will be in that description box below. And nowadays, if you just click on the title of the video, a description box will open up and that's where you'll find all of the materials and supplies I'm using. Okay, so this is originally an A2 size, so that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm gonna take 1/4 of an inch off each, so that is going to leave me at 4 by 5 1/4, and that's just gonna give me just a little bit of margin around my card. I think that'll be perfect. Okay, so I want to do that first because then it's going to really help me visually line up my little arch here. Okay, and so the little stamp set that I'm inspired with is this little Hoppy Easter. Isn't that so cute? I have not used this yet. I have the coordinating dies as well. And so what I am thinking is I'm going to bring the bunny in, of course. You just cannot not bring the bunny in, but I want to do the Hoppy Easter right underneath the little window. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to take any stamps out. I'm just going to kind of hover that there. That way I can get an idea for where I want my little arched opening to be. And I'm thinking about there because I can put these a little bit closer to that as well. Okay, so what about there? I think that'll be good. And you could also, you know, do Hoppy Easter as well, putting them on the same lines. Like instead of one on top of the other, you could put them side by side. But I kind of like the idea. I like the size of that, and I think it'll work. So let me start by doing this. I think that's center, close enough. Oh, nope, it's not. Let me move that over just a hair. That looks good to me. I'm going to bring in a little bit of pink tape. And then I am going to really quickly just cut this out on my Gemini Junior. Okay, so I went ahead and ran that through my machine. I'm just going to pop this little center out, and you can keep this. Go ahead and keep that for another project. I'm not going to be using that today, but I will just set that aside for another time. Okay, that looks great. So I'm going to put my little arch away so I don't lose it. And I think what I'm going to do next is I want to stamp down here and also additionally get some other little images stamped out. So bringing my mini Misty in, let's open this up and I'm going to bring my little arch in. Let's see, is that the right way? Yep, it is. I have something in my Misty here. And that is going to keep me from lining things up here. Okay, let's get that out. Oh, just a little piece of, oh, little sticker. Okay, there we go. All right, now let's do this little hoppy Easter. I think that'll be really cute. So what I want to do is just get that exactly where I would like it. And I wonder if I should do them one at a time. Well, let's do a test just so that I can see. That's pretty cute. But I'm just wondering if I do them one at a time, if I could get them closer. But I think where the top of that T is coming up, I think that's going to be, I think as is, it's going to be as close as I'm going to be able to get it. So I'm going to line this up where I'd like it. Whoops. Okay, I need an eraser. Do I have an eraser around here? Believe it or not, I do not. But I'm just going to kind of nudge this where I'd like it. And I'm centering it on my actual panel, but I'm going to stamp it out, oh goodness, elsewhere just to test it. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to nudge this little guy up just a little bit. I think we're good. Although I feel like this just needs to go up a hair more. I think we're golden. Okay, so I'm going to cling that down to my door. Okay. Then I'm going to grab a scrap, and that little scrap piece I will use for my additional stamping in a minute. But let's get this piece down. And the reason I'm doing this, this is brand new, so I'm just gonna get this all out. And you could do the exclamation point if you'd like. I'm gonna skip that. But the reason I'm doing it on another piece of paper is I just want to make sure that it's all lined up how I want. And also just to get the stamp all, it's brand new, so sometimes it's nice to just kind of stamp it once and get it all primed. Oh, I think that's really cute. Though, could I bring that, I wonder if I could bring that Easter up just a bit more. Let's keep Hoppy down. Okay, this is what we're gonna do because I feel like this could stand to come up more. I wanna keep Hoppy down on the door, but I'm going to do this. Let's clean it first. That way I don't get ink all over myself. I'm gonna take Easter off. And actually, I know, lots of steps, but you know what? It's worth it to get it right. Let's stamp this one down. That way when we get to doing the Easter part, we can still test this. So this will be our test for later. Stick with me. I think I've got a plan. I think I do. Okay, so now we like where Hoppy is. We're gonna stamp that down. You could also do some heat embossing, that'd be pretty, but something about just a nice bold sentiment lately for me is, it's just really nice. I'm gonna do that one more time. Got a little bit on that H. Okay, so let's do that. It's just tiny, so I'm not gonna bring my stamp press tool in. That looks great. I'm gonna double it up just to bring a little contrast. Just to make sure it's really punchy. There we go. Okay, now what we'll do is take this off and put this back. This is our tester, remember? And I should have stamped. Oh, well, it's still in the door. Hold on. Hold on. Let's cut this down. I was going to say I should have stamped that twice just in case we need to do any moving. So let's do this. Let's do, in fact, we just have, well, I'll stamp some more. I was going to say it doesn't have to be a perfect impression. This is just for testing, but I'm going to do another one. That way, if we test this one out and don't like it, we have a backup. Okay. Okay, there is a method here, I think. Okay, let me get this one all cleaned up. Pull this off. These are so little and they cling. So I try my best to put them away as soon as I can, because there has been a time when I completely, oh, this is gonna look nice. See, because when we do them, well, let me finish my thought process. There's been a time when I just have lost them. Okay, when you do them separately, you can really just get it exactly where you want, and you can get them close. Okay, I think that is where I'm going to test. And I have that little top of the T. I'm gonna make sure this is really down. I have the little top of the T kind of nestled up with the little double P's here. Or, you know, it's hard to tell sometimes too. So I might think that I have it that way, and then I just didn't want too much of a gap between my layers or my lines. Oh, that's really cute. I think that's really cute. I think I'm just gonna do that. I don't want to, yeah, I don't want to mess with it anymore. That looks good. So I did my test, bring this back in, and everything's in the same spot. Okay, double check, yep. I'm gonna double check this though. Okay. And because I double stamped the Hoppy, I will double stamp this. And again, it's just to give it just a really bold look. Okay. So again, the testing was just to make sure, because, you know, if you didn't like it, you just wasted a little scrap paper instead of wasted, you know, your little card where you had, whoops, where you had your arch cut out. Not the end of the world or anything, but there we go. Very nice. Okay, so that part is done. Now, let's go ahead and bring our scrap piece back in. Trim this down because I want to do a couple, and you could keep these and do something with them. Absolutely. But I want to stamp my little bunny, and I'm thinking a carrot would be really cute too. Bring a little orange in. I want to stamp a couple of times because I want to experiment with my coloring and kind of decide what I want. I'm thinking a little brown bunny would be super cute, but if for some reason I don't like it and like the look of it, then I have another bunny already stamped out. Okay, there we go. Let's bring the little bunny in. Right there. And the carrot. Now, there is a little Easter egg. I'll give myself enough room for the little dies. I think I have plenty of room though. There's a little Easter egg. There's also a little basket. How cute. Love that. Okay. I'm going to stamp these out and we will start coloring. Oh, that is actually really good. But I'm gonna do the double stamp because if I do it on one, I do it on all just so that my card as a whole is consistent. Very nice. Okay, then let's turn it this way. I think I'll have plenty of room. There we go. Yep. And again, may not use the second one, but it's always best to have the option. You could also, if you didn't want to do this part, just leave your stamps in your drawer. That way it's not over till it's over, right? You can just have everything all prepped and ready in case you mess up. Or in case you just not necessarily mess up, but want to do your coloring a little different. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna give this a few minutes to dry, especially since I double inked that up. And this is alcohol-friendly ink, so that's why I chose this, because I do want to bring my Copics in next and color. So you want to make sure you're using an alcohol-friendly ink, so that way your markers and your ink all play well together. Again, I'm going to leave this in the door for a little bit. Actually, I don't, because I did my double stamp, so I should be good to go. Okay, so shaker cards, so I'm going to need another little panel, or I could just put it on my card base, but I'm going to do another panel and ink blend on this. So I'm going to cut that the same size, 4 by 5 1/4. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a little bit of color. And I pulled this sea glass color from Concord and Ninth, and I think that this is going to be lovely for what I want to do. So what I'm thinking of doing is I want to add more of a kind of a ombre look going up in this little arched area. So I'm going to start that kind of about here, just kind of going with the pencil. And then I'm going to end it just about here. Okay, that way I kind of know where I need to go, and I'll just go as far as I want on the sides. That's not going to matter at all. Okay, so let's bring in, I'm just going to bring this to tap off on because I don't have an idea for it right now, so I'm going to use it as scrap. So I'm going to just kind of, ooh, I think that's going to be it. Look with the sequin. I think that's going to be nice. Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be pretty. Okay, so I really want to go light though. So let me kind of play around. Let me tap this off, and then I'm going to play around kind of here. Oh yeah, that's going to be pretty if you kind of keep it light. Okay, I think that will look nice. Again, just bringing my little sequins in. I just want to accompany it really nicely. Let's go ahead and we'll just start going light, because you can always add more. That's pretty. And I'm going to do all my tap off over here. And I kind of want to just kind of go up into nothing. I want it just a little bit of green up there, but I want it to just fade really nicely. So starting at the bottom, just so that I can get most of my ink off down here, and then I'll just use the leftover ink for the top. And then we can kind of bring this in. See? That's pretty. I like that. And I think that that's going to be the exact tone that I want. That's really pretty. I think I'm going to stop there. You know, less is more as I continue to blend. But I think that's exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit because it'll kind of smooth as it sits. Now, clean all this up, and I am going to begin coloring. So let me grab and select some color choices for our little bunnies. Okay, so you could do any color you'd like. I'm thinking more of a brown, because I think that will be, it will just pop really nice. You could do gray, but I think I just am feeling, you know, when something just feels right. The brown is kind of, or just kind of a nice tan. It just seems right. So I grabbed E31 and E30, and I'm going to just kind of play around over here. Now, everybody kind of colors a different way, right? Some people start dark and go to light. Some people start with light, go to dark, and then blend back with the light. Oops, wrong side. It's pretty much personal preference. So just do whatever you would like. I like to start with my dark and then go to light. One reason why I really like doing that is when you, and there's no wrong or right way, but for me, I like lighter tones. So I, in my opinion, think that if you start with your light and then go to your dark and then redo the light, then you have 2 layers of your lightest, and then it's not as light as it could be, right? But if you start with your dark, and this is just me, you kind of do it any way you'd like. If you start with your dark and then go to your light and blend out, but also you're adding color there, you're just having one final layer, so it's its true color. So that is how I kind of approach it, but again, everybody does it differently, and just do what makes you feel the most confident. Okay, so I am going to go with my E31, and I'm going to add some color right along the side and right along the bottom. Just kind of do that. Okay, and then a little bit down here on the bottoms of the feet. And then I'm also going to do the same with the face. So I'm going to go along the side here And I just do really subtle coloring and really subtle shading. So, and then I'm gonna add a little bit here. Okay, now you can always add more, but I'm going to stop there, knowing I can always come back and bump my shadows up. But I'm gonna bring in my light now. And again, this is E30, and I'm just going to blend those out. Just like that. And I'm doing a couple layers to kind of do a mid-tone there. And then with the rest, I'll just do one light layer. That way I have a really light layer. Okay, just like that. I'll do the same here, kind of do a little bit of a mid-tone by layering it a little bit and pulling that color out. And then I'll just do one really light final look. Okay. Ooh, I really like how that's looking. I really like that. Okay, now I'm just gonna add one little layer right up along the ears. Okay, and for the little tail, I don't know what to do for the tail. It'd be cute to have it white, but do I want it just to be white? Maybe I'll let me bring in COO just to add, oh, and you can barely see it, but actually for me, I can see that it is just not white. You are probably not going to be able to see that at all, but it just gave it a little something up close that will allow it to not be the same color as the paper, just to give it a little something. Okay, and I didn't even apply it all the way. I just kind of went on the left side, but again, tiny little surface area, so you're not going to see that. Well, you aren't, but I will in person. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do the ears and some cheeks. I think I'll do RV23 and or was that's right, yeah, RV23 and RV21. Is that what I want to do? I think that would look nice. I kind of want to let that settle and just make sure that that is exactly what I want to do and that it won't be, actually, you know what? I'm not. I want more coral because this has a little bit more. Let's do this. R21, and I'd like to just test on the side. It's better to test on the side and realize, yeah, that's exactly what I want. It's just more peachy. So R21 and R11. Yep, that is absolutely it. Okay, so let's do R21, and I'm just gonna add color to the base here. Okay, and that looks good. And then I will, with my R11, kind of pull that out and do a nice pale pink. Okay. Ooh, I love that. Okay, that's pretty. And then I think for the cheeks, I'll do the R21. So I like to give a little time. I think that's going to be dry enough, but I'll come back. I like to give a little time for that to dry just so that it doesn't like sink into the background, but instead the color kind of just lays on top. So let's give it time because we can do our little carrot. For our carrot, I'm going to do YR21 and Y21. And let's see, I think the carrot will be in the right hand. Let me do, okay, this is the YR21. I'm going to add just to the side here. Okay, and I kind of added a couple layers. And then Y21, I'll just brush that out. And that will be really subtle. I might even come back in and bump, ooh. Bump that shadow up just a hair. There we go. I think that looks nice. Very tiny, but it's there. Okay, and then for the little green on my carrot, yes, I'm going to, no, I'm going to just do, I'll just do one. I'm going to do G20. Is that right? I think so. Just to add a little bit. Yeah, that looks good to me. I'm not going to worry too much about shading there because it's just so teeny tiny. Okay, then let's go back to our R21 and add, sorry about my hand, it's going to be in the way, but I want to add cheeks. Ooh, that was really juicy. Those are some juicy cheeks. That's okay. Oh my goodness, that came out fast. I wanted a little dots, but actually that's pretty cute. Okay, that works. So now let's go ahead and cut these out. I'm going to grab my little coordinating dies and let me cut these apart. Actually, I'll get these out this way. We have one here, and let me trim this out. Okay, my little snips here. Okay, there we go. And let's save some tape here, and we'll use this tape and get these placed. Okay, so now let's cut these out. Okay, and you might hear a leaf blower in the background. It is, oh my goodness, so cute. It is yard work day in the neighborhood, so I'm crafting away, and I love the sound of like people mowing their lawn and stuff like that. I don't know why, it's so relaxing to me. So sorry if it's catching on video, but it's kind of aiding to my nice relaxing afternoon crafting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and toss that. Well, actually, I'll take that off and keep this little bunny. That way I can color it and do another one. Okay, so placing these in, placing this in, and we are ready to start going full circle to where we were inspired in the first place. So I'm gonna open up my little sequin bag and let's start creating this shaker. So I have some acetate. I have some acetate sheets right here. I'm going to grab a sheet and trim this down just so that it's a little bit bigger than my opening. Okay, so I'm thinking, it's hard to see because it's clear, but I can see that. I'm thinking about 3 inches by, let's say 4 1/4. That'll give us a nice big area. And then I'll keep all of my little extra pieces for my acetate. And I just like to keep them right in the bag. Keep them right in the back. That way, if I am doing another shaker card with a different size, I can always check to see if I have anything smaller before trimming down a larger sheet. Okay, here's this. Now I'm going to, that's going to work wonderfully. I'm going to take this and turn it over, and let's make our window. So I'm going to use, I have really fallen in love with the Gina K Connect glue. I need to buy it in bulk because I love it. I also love the Barely Art glue as well, but I'm going to take this little bead of glue and just go around my arched opening. Now we're going to reinforce this with foam tape, so we're just getting this tacked down nicely, and then we'll add our foam tape next. Okay, there we go. So now we have, let me cover my beloved glue here. Okay, now we have our little window, and that way our sequins won't fall out. Okay, now let's reinforce this with some foam tape to build a little gate for our little sequins to stay within. Okay, and I think I'm actually going to, let me get my sticky scissors. These are non-stick and amazing, which is essential when doing foam tape. Okay, so I think I'm going to double up this foam tape because it is quite thin. Actually, I'm just going to do that. That way we have a lot of room for that to shake around. Okay, so let's do there. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Nope, perfect. Okay, so for a shaker, you do want to be mindful to close your little gate. So everywhere that your foam tape is, you want to make sure that it is closed. That way your sequins doesn't fall out. And this might be a little thick for this side. Let's try, but if not, we'll just trim it down. Is that going to be, it's going to be just a hair too thick. So let's trim that down. I'll just keep this over here for another project. And again, connecting right here. And we'll do our last little one. Let's get this a perfect fit. So, in fact, I'm going to lay this down and I'll just cut right here. That way I know it's going to be sized perfectly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these little strips off and I'm going to add one more because this foam tape's a little bit thin. I love it, love, love, love it. But for a shaker, I want just a little bit more wiggle room inside. So I'll just take my foam tape and double it up. There we go. And I'll do the same thing all the way around. In fact, I could probably use what I cut off there for this and then use some other scrap pieces that I had, making the most of my craft supplies here. There we go. And we'll just add a little bit here. It is just, oh, we're just using every little bit in piece. Okay. But waste not, want not, right? Okay. And finally this side. All right, we are ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my pink tape, grab it off of this, and I'm going to secure my little shaker. And that way, if I accidentally bump it too, not everything goes flying. Okay, we have this ready to close next. Now I like to take off the liner first, just because once the sequins is in there, I don't like to move this panel barely at all. And when I feel like this part, even subtle movements makes that sequins just jump out and jump around. So I like to take it off first, but I know that other people prefer the other way around. So let's go ahead and put this in there. Oh, this one's really thick. Hold on. Wow. That one is like a bunch that didn't get disconnected. Let's disconnect some of you. All right, there we go. A bunch of those leaves were together. Oop. There. There's a big old, it was almost, I think there were about 6 of them just together there. Okay, now the amount of sequin that you use, sequins, is personal preference. I'm gonna go about there. Ooh, oh, that might have been a little much. I might take some of that out. The amount you use is completely up to you because everyone has their own personal preference, right? So if you want a little bit more, do a little bit more. I want to still be able to showcase that background, that little background that I made. So, all right, now this is kind of starting to bow from that foam tape. So all right, let's over tape for the good of the card. We can always reuse our tape. I'll get this little guy in here. And now I'll just line this up, making sure that my little fade is going the right direction, right? Oops, stay down. We're almost done. And I'll line this up. And close. There we go. Okay, now grab all this little tape and we'll save this. I like just to save it on the side of my mat. That way when I need it, it's right there. Okay. here is the big reveal. Oh, goodness gracious. How cute is that? Isn't that so cute? I love it. And you can still see that really pretty ombre look on the back. Oh, I love the vibrant color of this. This is so pretty. Okay, so then we have our cute little, oh my goodness, look at that. So sweet, and the little carrot. And that's gonna be adorable. Okay, let's make our card base. Let's decorate with our little bunny and carrot. And this first craft will be done, and we'll move on to the cute little bag. I can't wait to decorate that. Okay, let's set these cuties to the side. Bring in this little scoreboard, and I also have 110-pound cardstock here. The rest of my card was 80-pound cardstock, I should have mentioned, but 110-pound is preferred for the card base. So I have this at 11 by 4 1/4. Since half and 11 is 5 1/2, I will place my little score mark there, and then I'll have a little top folding A2 size card, and I'll bring in my bone folder and just really press that down. Okay, now I think this is going to be so pretty. Now again, I trimmed that down. That is so pretty. I trimmed that down really nicely. I'm just going to glue that to my card base because I have enough of the dimension with the shaker. And I think, I'll just magnetize this to my board. I think if I just add a little bit of glue, we should be good to go. Actually, ignore that. I'm going to use this sticky thumb tape runner. This is, holy goodness, so strong. So I've used this to do paper boxes and all sorts of things that need some strength. So because that panel, given that it's a shaker, is, you know, a little bit heftier. You know, this is a little bit more than just paper at this point. I'm going to opt for a stronger adhesive. So let's do that. Got that on there. We will line this up and place that down. That is really pretty. All because of a little bag of sequins, and that's where it went. I love that. I love seeing a little bit of inspiration at the craft store and then seeing where it all goes. Now, I do think I will put a little bit of foam, let's see, behind my little bunny. I can probably get away with the bigger ones for the body. And we'll do the smaller for the ears. I want to just give a little bit of dimension there. And then I'll just glue my cute little carrot right to the bunny. Okay, I'm going to grab my tweezers. Okay, got those all off. And I think that's going to be really cute. I like it like this. There we go. And let's add just a teeny tiny amount of glue, and we'll have the little carrot right in their hand. Okay, there we go. Kind of like that, with the carrot kind of coming off the side. Oh my goodness. And again, a little bag of sequins at Hobby Lobby inspired this entire look. How sweet is that? I love that. Again, everything that I use will be linked down below. I probably won't be able to find the sequined because, why am I struggling with that word today? Sequins. I probably won't be able to find this because I kind of find that it's hard to find things on their website, but let me find the, let's see, it just says, oh, it says Blooming Meadow. There we go. Assorted Blooming Meadow sequins. Okay, so there's that in case you want to try to locate some, but how cute. I love this. Okay, I really want to decorate that little bag and have some fun with that. And then definitely stay tuned because the rest of the things that I found in my haul today, I will be sharing in the upcoming videos now that it's spring and we're ready for Easter and spring crafting. Okay, so continuing with this really nice little bag, I'm excited for this. It's the perfect size and I'm just in the need of something for myself. I feel like mamas are carrying a lot of stuff on the way to church, right? Got the diaper bag, got my purse, and then I need just a space for my Bible and maybe a notebook and things like that. So I'm happy to have this little guy. So what I'm gonna do is I cut out a design on Smart Iron-On. Again, all that I'm using, including the design and where I got it, will be linked below in case you want to recreate or if you want to put this fun design on something else. But I did a Smart Iron-On, and I'm just going to go ahead and start weeding this out. Okay. So sometimes the Smart Iron-On, because it is a little bit thicker, and the reason that the carrier sheet is a little bit thicker is because it is matless, so it allows you to do matless cutting. So knowing that this clear carrier sheet is quite thick, and sometimes I find it best to use some heat tape to help secure it to my project when heating up, because at times it can just kind of, you know, want to roll around. Even though it's a little bit sticky, it tends to sometimes be a little tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of my little middle pieces, and because I'm working with iron-on, I did mirror my image. There we go. And lastly, there. Okay, so now I am going to, let's move this little one over here. Okay, I'm going to place this right on my little bag. Isn't that cute? Oh, I think the size was really, really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure, since this is folded up, I want to fold it down because if I can, because it will help me when heating up, just have a little bit of a flatter area. So if I could just kind of get everything folded out, that way this part is super flat, that might help me. Okay, so opening the bag completely and just kind of pushing those little parts out. I'm not even sure if I can do that because it's so thick. It is so, so thick. I'm not even sure. But why don't we try it this way and see. I used to have some heat pads, but I don't have them anymore. We'll see if we can get an even press, and if not, we can bring the little mini press out. Okay, I'm gonna go over to my heat press, and I am going to preheat just the area, make sure there's no moisture. I'm also going to take a lint roller and get all of the lint or anything that's on the surface off, and then I'll go ahead and heat this. Again, I think I'll use some heat tape just to secure that down, and this should turn out really, really cute. Okay, so it kind of tacked it down, but it did not get a really good press because it's just so bulky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Easy Press Mini, and it's kind of tacked down. I mean, you can obviously see that it's not on there, but I'm going to put this on high, and let's see if we can't just get this to lay down with some more focus press, and I think we'll be just fine. And actually, my heat guide says medium, so we'll do that. We'll do medium. While that's preheating, I'm just going to start heating up this little cross and getting that down. And the Easy Press Mini is meant to be moved around, so you just move it around as you go. Yep, I can already tell that that is laying down really nicely. So while it's preheating, I'm just going to start. And this is nice because you can just really press down in those focused areas to get it to lay down. And this will be just fine. I should have started off with this, but you know. Okay, so it chimed and now the lights are green, as you can see. So that just means that it has reached its temperature. And I will just continue pressing these little pieces down, but it's looking really good. So I don't use my mini press often, but when I do, I am really glad that I have it. I wouldn't recommend this as, well, I get asked quite often if I'd recommend this for t-shirt making. And I wouldn't, just because it would take a lot of time or more time than a press would. And even if you got, the Cricut Easy Press 2, I feel like that is a better option than the mini. But the mini is so nice to have in your craft room for either tough items where you really need a little bit more control and control over the heat and control over the areas in which you're pressing, like hats or shoes. But I don't know, this is just such a cool little tool. I'm really glad that I have this. Okay, I think I'm gonna let this cool down for a little bit. I'm not convinced that I'm done heating. Still see a couple problem areas where there's some lifting, but I'm gonna let it cool and see if I can take off the liner, and then I think I'll put some parchment paper over, or some butcher paper, and then continue just a little bit more heat on a couple of areas. So I'm going to remove it from the heat mat, and then I'm going to turn it over just so that it's on a nice cool surface, and just let that heat come out. Just will help cool it down really quickly. And that way we'll be able to, there we go, we'll be able to peel the liner off. Okay, so I am going to start peeling away the liner, being really careful because I'm seeing just a minor bit of lifting, which is totally fine. We're going to give some additional heat, but it's at least really down. Okay, so now I always feel like bringing up the liner is, where you're going to see some problem areas. So now I'm going to put some butcher paper on top just to protect my press. You could even replace it with the liner, but because it's sticky, I'm gonna leave it off because I don't want it to re-stick down. So I'm going to put my heat mat right underneath once more, and I'm going to get my butcher paper just to give myself a barrier between my heat source and my iron-on, and then I'll just give a couple more additional presses just to a couple little places that I'm seeing a little bit of lifting, and then this will be all done. Okay, just putting butcher paper right on top. And the best thing about this part is that once I'm done heating, I'm not going to, have a peel up. It's just going to simply be paper coming up, which is nice because sometimes, again, that liner just really creates some problems because it's sticky. Okay, I think this is the trick. So a little bit of a labor of love. I think that's the first time that my heat press hasn't done the job. Usually I'm going to my heat press to be the final, I don't know, it's always so dependable, but this is just really bulky. Okay, that looks really, really nice. I think that's going to work out really good. I have one more spot, and I'm just gonna have, the best thing about this too is that you can, do a little focus press and heat up just certain areas without reheating the entire thing, which is awesome. Okay, so I don't want to say it's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's on there. So I'm just going to replace, let's see, get it all how it was. That is so cute. And actually, it can just stay open. So that's a really nice little size. I think it said, did it say it was 12 by 12 by 6? I don't know where the tag went, but I think that is a great, great little size. Enough for a little water bottle in there as well. So I love this. And again, I didn't mention this, but there's a little, this is actually a functional little pouch. So that's really nice too. Love how that turned out. Okay, this was such a fun little crafty afternoon. I love that I was able to get some shopping in, but also get inspired with some of the things that came home with me. I love how this tote turned out, and I'm really in love with this cute little shaker card. It's so fun. Again, everything that I used will be linked down in the description box below the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for the things that I showed and I did not use, please be sure to check out the videos that are to come and get ready, because I am really inspired this spring, and I can't wait to show you what I'm going to do with those additional items. All right, everyone, please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed crafting along with me. Let me know what you're working on, and I can't wait to continue crafting with you in the next video.